Warning! The following video may contain flashing images. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh, hi there folks, and welcome back to Put It to TSET. And today, because of the upcoming pending news of all things Looney Tunes Space Jam 2 related, we're having a look at some of my old tat from the original film that got released as part of their way of making more money off small children. Brilliance! So yes, two things I've really got here are the full-size action figures, and I've got a few little micro playsets to take a look at as well. None of them are complete, none of them have full things, etc, etc, etc. So, without further ado, let us take a look at the star himself, Mr. Michael. Have a nap. Jordan! Yes, Mr. Jordan here. I don't know why he looks like George Foreman that's melted, but he does. Honestly, the facial capture on this one, you're talking 1990s. This was always going to be awful. I was trying to turn his head, but it does turn slightly. Yes, remember, this was back in the 90s, right? There were no big facial scanning things. There were no massive, great big things. And yeah, points of articulation were limited. So the fact that this Michael Jordan has a twisty waist, hands that don't move, but arms that do, so he can go for a shot, you know, get ready, get the basketball, throw it in. I suppose he can kind of catch it and maybe sort of dribble it, and while he's being a bit sassy. So yeah. I mean, it's not terrible by any means. It's reasonable. So yes, we had him in the white jersey there, representing the Tune Squad, but I also had him in the secondary outfit, the blue one. I don't know whether this is the fact that he was. I don't know whether it's the legs that have just gone wanky, wonky, fucking whatever, over time, or whether this was the original mould and it's just crap. But yeah, as you can see, anyway, let's not worry about the freaking ball. Let's just have a quick close up. Hello. Yes, I know we like everyone in the background, but yeah, it's slightly more Michael Jordan. I think that the smile makes the face a bit taller, which I think gives it a bit of a makes it a bit more like him. Put you at the back there, so. But yeah, it's. Oh, I've got him to stand, but his foot's kind of off the ground. It's only his heel on the floor. Each set came with a member of the Tune Squad, i.e. Michael Jordan, or one of the Looney Tunes characters, and they also came with a Monstar as well, which was always fun. So you always had rivals to play with, no matter which set you got. He just fallen off the edge of the world there. Just stand up, Michael, behave yourself, Mikhail. Fuck's sakes, boy. Look, there's a reason you bollocks, yeah, absolute bollocks, and he's taken out Marvin the Martian. Yes, and they also came with a basketball. So there's hundreds of these little blighters, and all fucking lost everywhere. So, I don't remember which one came with which set, but doesn't particularly matter. Michael Jordan. Oh no, I think Michael may have come with one of the. Get out. Michael may have come with one of the Looney Tunes, looking at it now. But let's have a look at Sir Bugs of the Bunnies. It's the beauty with creating cartoon character action figures is that they're already quite deformed and quite. What's the word? I can't think of the word. Enhanced, eccentric, no, exaggerated, that's the one. So, when they come to create them in action figure and toy form, that exaggeration works quite well for the small proportions, and it's easy to recognise. So, that's always useful. This head is very rubberised, because those ears, man. Those ears bend. Not too much, they'll snap right off the edge of the fucking rubber. But yeah, it's a good likeness. Again, interesting mould. I mean, yeah, the idea is that he's dribbling the ball. Makes sense. Even more so when you put in the fact that being one of the Toon Stars. He's got himself a rocket-powered skateboard with an extendable boxing glove. I don't recall seeing it in the film. God damn it, Bugs. I'm having issues today with the Edge of the Universe, but that's it. But yeah, you know, it fits with the aesthetic. It's very Looney Tunes, and it's very Space Jam. I think that was a pretty good idea to add some elements to it. Let's jump over and have a look at one of the Monstars. Right, now, bear with me, because I don't remember an awful lot about these blighters. But I do have it on good authority that this orange fella here, he is Pound. In the films, they were small, little teeny-weeny aliens, the Nerdlucks, and they went and stole the talent of real-world basketball stars and become hulking, grotesque monsters, or Monstars, as the case may be. Yes, that's the level we're working at here. So, yes, Pound here stole Charles Barkley, don't know why I said Berkeley, Charles Barkley's talent, who was a figure, in fact, but I didn't get. It's a shame, because I could have done Bill Murray as well, and that would have been awesome. Anyway, besides that, this is Pound. He's a large, chunky thing. He's quite light, in fact. His legs... I think his legs actually weigh more than his torso and his arms put together. But, yeah. It's a good representation of the character from Space and Jams. He's got the ability to hold a ball in that one, and the ability to punch the living daylights out of the other. Oi! Give me your lunch money, or else! It is kind of what I imagine him to say. Actually, I wouldn't put it past him to actually be in the film saying that. But yeah, you know, it's the head turn? Yes, the head turns. So, you know, you can pull a full, you know. Quite. But then, you know, it's a nice representation of the figure. Bright, colourful, lovely jubbly, paintwork's lovely. I mean, the eyes are quite nice. You think this is, you know, 1990s action figure, and the paintwork is very nice on this. But yeah, overall, it's just big, hollow plastic. Takes a few knock-ins. Perfect for kids. Let's jump back over to one of the Toon Squads whilst we're here. My arm. We'll go next. Let's go with the controversial one. Let's go with Miss Little Bunny. This is the preferred version, I think, according to the internet, for the weebs. Although, yeah, I think they've been quite, you know, reasonable with the torso mould here, and more realistic from what I remember, because I don't recall Lola Bunny being quite that busty. I just think people have gone overboard with that a little bit. She did originally come with a hoop that has since now been lost to time and the bins and the rubbishmans. But again, because of the cartoony characteristic of the character of, yes, quite, the exaggerated nature of Miss Bunny, it's quite a nice likeness. Again, the ears aren't that rubbery as Bugs is. This is more of a solid mould. Actually, can I have a... Oh no, there is a very distinctive feeling. You've got a very rubbery head and a very solid plastic for Miss Lola Bunny. Again, just the one stand and the... What is it? Yep, 3 points of articulation, head and the 2 arms. So you can kind of go... She's going for a... Oh, will that even go out that far? Yes, it will. So you turn her head... Her face does get in the way a little bit, so she can't raise her arm that high to take a shot, but you know, she can definitely tell you to talk to the hand, because I'm going to fucking smack you, backhand you one. Yeah, I do like the little addition of the cottontail through the shorts. It's quite neat, quite nice, and yeah, neat. Let's jump back over to the Monstars right now. I'm checking back to my notes here, because I have got no idea how these are. Right. This is Bang. He's not even in frame. He's such a big boy. He's such a big boy. Big boy Bang. Oh, big boy Bang. Look at him. Oh, look at this shit. This one's clearly meant to resemble a Frankenstein monster of some description. And he stole Patrick Ewing's talent. And much like Pound, it's light hollow plastic. His hips don't even turn. Oh no, his waist does turn. Just very reluctantly. Oh, that's not good. Oh. And to be fair, if you did it like that, he doesn't look quite right. So let's not do that. The head does turn, yes. And both hands, I think, are capable of holding the basketball, yes. And no. But he does have that slam dunk pose, which is pretty neat. So, yeah, you could kind of... I'm not sure whether he's trying to do a slam dunk or whether he's doing some interpretive dance right now, but he's kind of neat nonetheless. I've just noticed as well the shoes. The shoes are pretty cool. Got the little lip with the socks and just little attention to detail. You know, it's Warner Brothers. Boo, hiss, yes, I know. But this was back when they were passable. And yeah, in terms of toys, I'm kind of making excuses here. Let me jump back into another Looney Tunes star. Let's go with the iconic Mr. Daffy Duck. Yeah, again, because of the accentuated and absurd characteristics of said duck. Yeah, it's pretty recognisable. Not so great on my black background, mind you. Tough it is. I don't know what that looks like, but it's not something all that pleasant from what I can see. Filth. What have you been doing, Mr. Duck? And again, only 3 points of articulation, one of which is kind of pointless because he can hold the ball like that, or he can hold the ball not really like that. And the hand on the hip doesn't really lend itself to action play, but this might just make up for it. For you see, Mr. Duck does in fact go inside this. And oh my god, I actually managed to get it to stand. Right, okay, so I'm going to have to pull back and zoom out just slightly. Make sure I do the right one. There we go. Right, so zoomed out. Tad up. Right, and now this, I hope you're prepared for this. This is going to be absolutely worth the wait. I guarantee you it's not. Hey! Jumps, ready to slam dunk the ball into the net and catch the ball and other such things. It's not bad springing it. It's not like it's going to take your eye out. And that was a pretty good jump, actually. So yeah, having a quick look at this in more detail, it is literally just 2 bits of plastic with a bit of a spring in the middle. The detailing in it is quite nice, though. You can sort of see, you know, it's been manufactured, Acme most likely. And it fits the Space Jam aesthetic, and the fact that it's got a little webbed foot for it to stand on is neat. I like that attention to detail. Very, very nice indeed. I'm actually going to stick with the Tune Squad for the minute, because I've only got one more Monstar left. So this here is the absolutely legendary Sylvester Cat. Yes. Bit more of an action pose, which is quite nice. I think we can zoom back in for just a moment. Zip. This is a lot of in and out, this one, but such is the nature. Yeah, he's not too bad. He's pretty nifty, pretty shifty. It's a very good likeness. Decent action pose. Again, you've got the... No, his waist does not turn, so it's literally the arms and the head the only things. The tail is very stiff, not rubberized, so that won't go anywhere, but will snap upon stepping upon. His action feature is less interesting. It's a lump of plastic, but it's a rocket boot sled thing that he stands on, which, you know, less inventive than the previous 2 things. I've zoomed in too much. I knew this was going to be an issue. Framing. So yeah, it's fine. You know, you can play along. You know, you shoot the rocket and falls over, and you know, catastrophically breaks his back, and he's a paraplegic and now needs a wheelchair to survive. So they just put him down instead because he's a cat. But you know, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. You know, Sylvester's always one of my favourite characters, so I'm definitely giving that a pass. Right. Oh god. No, I'm staying in close. I'm going with my final member of the Tune Squad, the only member without a jersey, because, let's face it, he's a frickin' Tasmanian devil. It's Taz! No, not that one, for crying out loud. No, this is the Tasmanian devil himself. This isn't a nice sculpt. I do like the big, wide mouth and teeth, and it's it just speaks to me. Again, points of articulation are kind of pointless, only 2 this time, but I suppose he can sort of grab the ball and thumb in his mouth. No, we're not going down that route. So he can carry the ball like that, or he can sort of do his classic Tasmanian Devil pose, which is pretty good. And his little action feature was a tornado, which, if I get this right, because there's a specific way to put him on, because he will fly off if I don't. There's 2 pegs on his right foot and 1 peg on his left foot. Oh, come on. Right, and get this the right way round. You ready? Oh, you're not ready for this, Jelly. I guarantee you. Whoa, no way! I love it! Only issue with this is that it won't stand up on its own. But that is really cool. Big fan of Tasmanian Devil. So glad he got this spin-off series, because that was brilliant. Yeah, I love me Taz, and this... I think this is my only Tasmanian Devil toy, and I'm so glad it is, because it is the best Tasmanian Devil toy you can get in existence. Forget Space Jam, forget the rest of the Looney Tunes, forget Warner Brothers. You're a Taz fan. You need this, because this is neat. I love it, even now. Right, so the last of these larger action figures is this lanky fella here. Oh, God, right. I think he used to be able to stand up. His legs are a bit longer than all the rest, so his limbs are a bit rubbery, so he's seen days stuck in a box, and yeah. Anyway, this fella, what's his name? Reminds me. No, that's Blanco, who stole Sean Bradley's talent. Yes, so he's quite a relaxed, slack-jawed sort of, what's going on here, George, kind of thing. But yeah, again, it's a decent enough sculpt. It's very recognisable, if I remembered all the bloody names. Attention to detail, the little spine bit on the back. It's a neat little thing. A little thing. It's huge. I mean, look at the size difference between him and Bugs. I mean, frickin' hell. You can't fault them on going for scale here for the films. You really cannot. I mean, Michael's, a tall fella, but the Monstars are meant to be huge. And there you go. They really put a lot of work and thought into this. They didn't just pump these out. These were good quality products. And I stand by that statement. Another great thing about this series was, of course, you've noticed Marvin, who is in scale with everybody else. You did get a Marvin with another figure, I can't remember because I never got it, but he also came especially with his rocket ship. Goddamn refocusing, goddamn. Everything's so goddamn tall in this thing. So yes, we have Sir Marvin of the Martians, another of my favourite characters. And he was the referee, because obviously he was part alien and part Looney Tune, so he could be, I suppose, considered impartial referee, which I think was quite neat. He's got a little whistle there, and, it's Marvin. You can't really go wrong with Marvin. Only a head articulation on this one. I think the other one may have had more, but, yeah, he's not really in the action. He's just there to look awesome. The rocket ship itself, very basic, 2 colours and a bit of paint on the windows. Was there a sticker back here? Oh, it's this. Martian Maggot. That's the name of the rocket. Marvellous. Okay, calm down. Chill. This little thing here opens up. And this, my friends, can store your basketballs. Always got to look after your balls. But also, gave you the opportunity to have Marvin flying around in his Martian Maggot. Ha-ha! Neat. I like it. Again, and probably the best outing Marvin the Martian has ever had in any sort of toy line. But it doesn't end there, folks. No, because what's that got to do with Space Jam, I hear you ask? Boom, boom, shake, shake the room. It's a basketball launcher and hoop. So for those of you who either A, lost the basketball hoop that came with a load of bunny, or B, did not get it. You could always get this ridiculously overpriced nonsense and launch yourself some baskets. So I've got 3 shots at this, and hopefully... Ah, first try, get in. And if I remember rightly, there was supposed to be a function where they were supposed to roll down in the next one. I don't know how, but go on, have another go. That's more what I was expecting to happen. One more. I just failed miserably, come on. Yeah, you get the point, you get the picture. So yeah, oh, bloody basketballs, I'm every where. So you get the idea. Space Jam, basketballs, neat.
Just because they've got Michael Jordan, they're gonna win the Space Jam.
And so lastly we come to the micro playsets. Those of you who don't know, I do have a bit of an affinity for the micro of the universe, shall we say. Let's start with the House of Slam, because I think this one's the most feature incomplete I have, and therefore the most disappointing. It resembles a standard stadium with the Warner Brothers logo. It kind of looks Acme University, which is quite nice. Missing a couple of doors here. Bit of a nuisance, but hey-ho. So we open ourselves up, and we've got ourselves a little bit of a play set right here. I shall get onto these in a moment. Come out there, Mikhail. Why are you misbehaving, Mikhail? So yes, what am I missing? I'm missing a basketball hoop that used to stand here. I'm missing 2 doors here. I'm also missing a car. I don't know why there was a car, but you used to be able to push it in, push a button, and it shot off. And it just sped out of the front, knocking the doors open. Okay, fair enough. I'm also missing a little thing here. A little green patch of grass. Because, as you can see, you've got the quote-unquote real world up here. And, if I remember right... No, it didn't have anything on it. But you can sort of see there's a bit of a golf course going on here. And during the course of the film... Bugs abducts Michael Jordan through the golfing course and brings him into the Looney Tunes universe. Which, yeah, you kind of got there. So, he drops down, goes down the slide, and ends up here on the basketball court. Which, let's have a bit of a closer look at the basketball court here now, because you won't have much of a chance to see it. But you can see there's a big zip through the world here, which I do kind of recall happening in the film, but... I don't know. This button, nope, would launch the car, if I had it. And this little hole here relates to this little thing here. Which we should get to momentarily. So you see, this opens up here, as did this one, but it's broken, so I'm not going to touch it, because I break it more. What? What's happened? Wait, what? Hello? It's gone missing. Ah, right, yes, so, as I was saying, you get yourself a little basketball out of the cupboard, and then you use your little pinger, and you flicker the little basketball. Isn't that neat? You've also then got yourself a nice little chair, and a little video thing of Michael Jordan. Is that a drawing, or is that an actual picture? I can't tell. Yo, focus. That is a draw. Yes, it is a drawing. I don't know why I thought it wasn't. But yes, it's a drawing of Michael Jordan taking a shot, and you've got your little, lunatics in the background. Lunatics? What the hell are they called? They were called something. But anyway, yes, they've got the crowd there. And you also have the little figurines, which, okay, this is...
Only at McDonald's. Collect these fun Looney Tunes stuffed characters.
Yes, the little miniature figurines. You can see the size of my finger is very, very small by comparison. We have, in the front, Mr. Swackhammer, the main villain, who would sit in that big seat there and overview the thing that's going on, because basically he's trying to take over Earth, and the Toon Squad have got to stop him. You have yourself a little Bugsy Bunny, and you've got yourself a Mikhail Jordan. Okay, Mr. Swackhammer, yes, you can see what the character's meant to be. It's not the most ideal of situations, but he's reasonable. Got himself a nice little base, and he's a nice big chunky boy. Bugs, yeah, you can see it's Bugs. You know, you've got some detailing in there. Got the eyes, you can just about work out the teeth. He's sort of translated rather well. Like I said, exaggerated features, work rather well for figures and toys. You know, got his hand behind his back. No, he's got his hands on his hips. And he's got. Sorry, that's off camera. I'm zoomed in so much I don't know where I'm looking. He's got his hands on his hips and he's got a little fluffy cotton tail there. And it's a pretty good little thing. Slightly more flexible. These are kind of rubbery, these ones. But Michael has suffered quite badly in the transition to miniature and micro. Yeah, I mean, the camera doesn't even see it as a face. It's because there is no face. He is just a brown amorphous blob in a white get-up. I mean, yeah, I suppose, because you know it's meant to be Michael. It's Michael, but it's not that good. It's not that good. But in terms of playset, you know, it's not too bad. You've got yourself your stars. They're all, you know, it's an interesting little micro playset. There's hours of fun here. I didn't mention a scoreboard, but there's a scoreboard there with the rotating numbers, which you can change. It's, for what it was, it's not too bad. It's a solid attempt at a decent micro playset. So yes, this is Moron Mountain, owned by Mr. Swackhammer, the home of all of these creatures. What are they called? I can't remember what they're called now. The Nerdlucks. And yeah, there's not much to look at apart from the fact it's got the little sign and he's got his giant face, which, if I remember rightly, was accurate to the film. The planet they lived on did have his face on it, something like that. But yes, we open it up and we have ourselves Moron Mountain, designed for, you know, the pleasantries and such and such and so forth. Alright, let's get... Oh, God. Everything's falling apart. Everything's gone Pete Tong. What is in there? What is rattling about? Come out! Oh, you're in there, that's why. Hold that thought. We'll be back there in a moment. Right, so... Got lots of little features on this one. Again, we're missing a few, but, you know, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Right, so... let us take a little peep. Let's zoom in a little bit. So... At the top, we have Moron Mountain with the Sludge Summit, which, if I remember rightly, was some kind of slide thing. I can't remember. And basically the idea was you'd have someone there, you'd unleash the gate, and they'd roll down here. In fact, we have ourselves a little asteroid to demonstrate. So this is finicky on camera, so bear with. Yep. So yes. You've got the gate, release the gate, it rolls down the tube and through the mouth and into the splash zone. You also have a little fence here, and that unleashes other things as well into the. Let's just have a look at the splash zone. So yes, it's toxic, it's disgusting. Lots of basketballs in there. The idea is it's unpleasant for the sake of being unpleasant, and yeah, so on and so forth. You have yourself here a little diving board to jump in as well, and then you've got a little trapdoor here wherein you can put your victims, or, you know, whatever. I never quite got this though, because there's a little, yeah, and then also on the side here, you've got yourself a little trapdoor which gets into it as well. I could see how they're trying to use this as a way of escaping it, but play-wise, I'm not sure where it fit into the grand scheme of things. Yeah, okay. Right, now this was always finicky, and I never remembered how quite it went together, so you'll excuse me for it not being quite put together. Actually, I'm just going to have a quick attempt at it now. Yeah. No, I'm not going to bother. But basically, this sits in here. You have yourself a little target with which to hit, and you used to have a little spring-loaded cannon which to fire at this thing. You also had this little piece of device which used to sit just ever so slightly there. I think something attached to that and held it up. When you hit that target, it dropped down and dropped your characters into the sludge. That's a bit more interesting than just a basketball hoop and a bit of a thing. Also, there was another little bit that sat in here, which when you turned... need to readjust. When you turn this little wheel, would spin round. And on that was these little rocket rides. And when that spun, they swung outwards, like the real thing. And it would be a little carnival ride. Really, really neat. And I'm really disappointed that I've lost the thing for that, because I really enjoyed that. That was the best part of this whole set, in my opinion. And lastly, let's have a quick look at the, the figures that came with it. So originally, the Nerdlucks, the Mean Team, the Monstars, whatever you want to call them, they did come with all 5. It did come with all 5. They are significantly smaller than the other micro playset figures, as you can see here, which meant obviously getting 5 of them was, weren't too bad. But they're all there. Height-wise, they're not exactly well represented in terms of the Monstars. But yeah, that's what they originally looked like before stealing the powers of the real-world NBA superstars. But they're quite neat. Again, with the exaggerated characteristics, you can see the little bow ties on all of them. The sculpting's not terrible. They're quite big, quite bright. Quite big, no. They're quite bold and quite bright, which really lends to their recognisability and, ideal for play on such a small scale. So yes, that's my look at my 1990s Space Jam original movie toys and miniature playset things. Are they good overall? I think so. I think they probably were overpriced at the time, but let's be fair. Looney Tunes characters, big Monstars, came with basketballs. You weren't doing too bad getting these for your kids. It was pretty good, and they did have some neat action features, some of them. The micro play sets, probably overpriced for what they were. They're not quite as in-depth or as impressive as something as, say, Polly Pocket or Mighty Max. But, they're not terrible for what they are, if you can get them at a discounted price. It's not Realism 101 for the human characters, but for the animated atrocities, they're absolutely they're fantastic, and I wholeheartedly, like I said, I do quite adore some of these figures and these toys that I have and own. So with that in mind, fingers crossed that Warner Brothers doesn't skimp out and just try and rake in the money for the second one. Ta-da for now!